booking in a autism assessment. We went to see a clinical psychologist. I feel like I'm in this really hard spot where I'm in half of my daughter having a girl who's autistic. Girls flying under the radar. Morning. Just come out of a really big funk. Can you tell who's been in my cupboard? Jacob got into the coffee and then stepped in it and then climbed the cupboard. In joyful strains and let us sing. Crack. Did you crack the egg? Good boy. Put this in. This is what we're making. They're so sticky. I don't even know if this is right, but in they go, Jacob.
Good morning.
Jazzy said she wanted to be on camera.
Can you
Oh, you want to see yourself? What do you want to
Hi. Born for the camera, huh?
say? Hey, do you have pajama day at school today?
Yeah.
Morning. Oh, wow. Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's video. I wanted to show you that little snippet because Jacob's been really loving like getting in the kitchen and helping me bake, even though we just did a packet mix. I think that if I put flour, eggs, all the ingredients in front of Jacob, I think he could make a cake on his own. I honestly do, because one time I think we left out the flour or something and he started to put flour and eggs and sugar and anyway. I think that Jacob's going to be some sort of cook or chef or some baker or something when he grows up. Maybe even follow in his dad's footsteps. His dad's a pastry chef. The kids have school today, but we rarely ever film in the mornings anymore, and I just wanted to show you kind of a snippet of the mornings. They can be quite chaotic. That's why you'll probably have a lot of music over this. If you hear Jacob in the background, he's saying, have it. It's his version of saying Rocky. Getting dressed in the mornings is hard for Jacob, and he doesn't actually get dressed until we're actually going to school or just at school, so which makes it hard. Hi, my name's Jessica. And we were talking about booking in a autism assessment. Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you so much for that. Bye.
Hi.
I just pull out the camera and guess who's mowing the lawn outside? You guys, I hope you guys can't hear it too much. And sorry about the hole in the door. So what you heard just then was me calling up to book in Jazz's official ADOS assessment, autism assessment. About a month ago, we went to see a clinical psychologist around advice on what we should do with Jazz and what she thinks we should do with Jazz in regards to assessing her before school. At that appointment, we had made the decision not to have Jazz go to school next year and wait the year, and then she can go in 2025. And so the clinical psychologist's advice was, or her recommendation was, to do the autism and ADHD assessment. She thinks that from what we spoke about with Jazz, it sounds a little bit more like she might have ADHD instead of autism. However, there was a few things that she noted were more signs of autism than ADHD. So it really depends on, it's all like our interpretation of Jazz, and she didn't meet Jazz, she just had a session with me to discuss it. And so I feel like I'm in this really hard spot where I'm in half a mind that she is neurotypical, half a mind that she is neurodiverse. I am seeing signs, but who knows if that's just her sensory processing difficulties or if it's just her personality. I don't know. It was her recommendation to go ahead and do the assessment, but not do it until next year, the year before she goes to school. Then the reports will be up to date and all of that. She had said if we were parents that didn't know anything about autism, parents that didn't know strategies, didn't know anything like that, and we hadn't accessed NDIS supports and therapies and such, then she would be recommending us have the assessment right now. So because we've got all of that in place, we were like, there's really no need to get the assessment done. However, the last month or so, we've been seeing an increase in a lot of these traits, signs, whatever you like to call them. And we've also made the decision to send Jazz to school next year. So this changes things, and this changes our path or plan for Jazz. We had a plan to do it next year, the year before she was going to go to school. However, we're pushing things forward because we want to send Jazz to school next year. So I just called up the clinic and we are booking in to have an autism ADHD assessment. I just wanted to tell you guys because this is the journey. This is what we are seeing with Jazz. Particularly, it is so difficult for me to understand certain things that she does and give strategies and such like that because she presents so differently to Jacob. I am kind of lost a little bit, which is weird for me because I feel like I know a lot about autism and I've studied it, I've worked in it, I have parented a child with autism. So having a daughter, having a girl who's autistic or possibly ADHD, it's just a new world for me. And I would love to hear your stories down below or your experiences about girls or autistic girls or girls with ADHD. How was the journey different, or how do you feel like the journey is different? Because I feel like we hear a lot about these days girls flying under the radar, girls not getting the support that they need and not getting the understanding of their brains, and so this then turns into a lot of future mental health issues or all of those things, and it just scares me a little bit because I like to think I know my children, but just in this particular circumstance, I am kind of lost. So we need the help of a clinical psychologist, and the lady that we saw was fantastic, very receptive to everything I was saying and not dismissive whatsoever, which we had a kind of a dismissive experience with Jacob. Now we're going through that with Jazz. It's so nice to have sort of a positive, open discussion with a professional and them believe you, essentially. So we're going to go through that and we're going to bring you along for the journey. Yeah, that's basically what this video was about, was to tell you that, keep you updated on that and give you a little smidge of an insight into our mornings. I'm trying to get back into everything. I have just come out of a really big funk of PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Every month it kind of affects me in different ways. However, last week was the worst it's ever been. My mental health was really bad and I just couldn't function. I was crying a lot. I was just the heaviness in my chest. There was no real reason for it. It was simply my hormones raging through me. And I know that because today I feel a lot better. And I know that because it cycles. And not a lot of people know about it. So it's always good to talk about things so that people can understand and people can relate and people can find out things about themselves sometimes. So I'm going to go now. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you've gotten this far in the video, put a love heart emoji down below. I will talk to you guys in my next one.